Guys, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by again. Today we're going to talk about where are they now. We're going to talk about the releases from watch brands in 2016, 2017, and 2018. We're going to cover 3 years today. So a lot of these watches, they hit the mark and they hit it really quick. No need to say what brand hit it with a hammer and out of the park. And the brand that was that sold most watches, even without me doing a lot of research, I'm going to blindly guess it was Rolex. So we're going to talk about the brands that came up with nice watches, but still didn't sell. So let's start with 2016. I'm reading out some notes because I don't have that good of a memory. So 2016, Rolex came out with a Daytona. What's to say about the Daytona? You can't find it. It's a Grail watch, so we won't talk about the Daytona. 2016, Rolex came out with the Air King. It's the watch I own. I personally love the watch. I think it's going to be a future classic. Why? Because it's different. And with Rolex, anything that's different becomes a classic. So it's like the Milgauss wasn't too famous at one point. It became very famous. The Explorer. The Explorer 2 wasn't too famous, was one of the cheapest watches you could get, roaming around the same price as the Datejust. Now you can't touch an Explorer. So I personally think the Rolex Air King is going to be in that category. Not today, not tomorrow, but soon. So if the watch enthusiasts keep loving watches the way they've been doing till today. So one watch that I really like from 2016 that I haven't seen in person, and I don't like to talk about watches that I haven't seen in person, but if I haven't seen it, means it's not that popular because I see a lot of watches. Man, I see a lot of watches and people. I talk to a lot of watch guys, and mainly Rolex. We know it's the one they wear the most, but the watch that I really liked from 2016 was the Tissot 1936. A reissue, beautiful watch with wire lugs, very very nice watch, and I haven't seen it in anybody. I don't even know if it was produced or not. I know it was launched, but I don't know if it was produced, and it's just something that never got off the ground, and it's sad because it should have. You know, it's a beautiful beautiful watch. Another one that I haven't seen. Nobody showed me. Nobody has ever asked me for this watch. It's a Breitling Hurricane. It's right here. Black, beefy, girthy watch. And nobody has ever asked me for a Breitling Hurricane. I think if I talk to a lot of people, they'll say it's an Avenger, but they'll never say it's a Hurricane. We know the Super Ocean. We know the Chronomat, of course. We know a lot of other models from Breitling, but this one here, it just I don't know. I think it's still in the water. I don't know if this one's a good watch, but I just thought it was worth mentioning. The one that I have seen a lot that was very very popular and very very sold, Hamilton Khaki Field. This watch, I've seen it on everybody and their mothers. Why? Because it's a very, very well-made watch. So what's the difference from the Hamilton and all these other brands? Hamilton priced themselves very accurately. If I'm not mistaken, I think this watch retailed for like about $650. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think that was full retail. Hamilton priced themselves to have success, and in the watch community, the only people that could overprice themselves, and they don't even overprice themselves that much, they just limit the stocks. It's Rolex and Patek. Everybody else, they price themselves out of the market, and Hamilton, they did it, and they did it good. So 2017, there was a bunch of releases. 2017, I think, was the hype of the watch world. I think it's been one of the better years for the comeback. Let's call it the comeback of the watch world. And Omega profited on their Seamaster, the 60th anniversary, and with Speedy Tuesday, and with the Speedmaster, the Man on the Moon, being so famous. People wanted that watch. People and anybody and everybody wanted that moon watch, that Speedmaster moon watch, and Omega made its 60th anniversary release, and they even did the trio that came in the box: the Railmaster, the Speedmaster, and the Seamaster, and beautiful set. I don't know what it is going for right now, but Omega hit it out of the park with that release of that watch. One of the not so good ones that there was a lot of hype about this watch, but again, I haven't seen this watch, and I talk to people about it, and they go, okay, you know. And I don't think it was very badly priced. I think it was priced at a very nice range. If I'm not mistaken, it was about 5,500. It was the Tag Heuer Tavia, the chronograph. Beautiful watch, 42 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken. You know, nice, well decorated watch. Octavia's. I think they were banking on the auction they had a year before. I'm trying to think, a year before, 2 years before, they sold an Altavia for a crazy amount of money. So I think a Heuer, Tag Heuer, was banking on that idea that they were very, very popular. But I honestly, I don't think it took off. If you have one, let me know what you think about it. But like I said, in my world, nobody has asked me for one. But I think in today's world, nobody asks for nothing other than Rolex. Another one, the Rolex Aleni or Shalini, whatever you want to call it. Don't correct me on how I mention my watches or how I name my watches. You say the names however you want. I'll say them however I can. You know, if I try to make you say something in a different language other than yours, it's going to be very hard. So I've always called it Aleni, so we're going to call it the Aleni Moon Face. That watch, they out of the gate priced themselves out of the public. You know, if I recall correctly, it was $27,000. So for a dress watch, you can't ask for $27,000, even though it was the first year they ever came out with a complication on a dress watch, a moon dial or a moon face. You know, it's a watch that not a lot of enthusiasts were going to want it, and that's another watch that I haven't seen. I don't know if it's because it's not available in a lot of places. I haven't seen it in retailers. I haven't seen it in a lot of places. I don't know if there's a waiting list for this watch, but I know that it's a watch that if I were to have it, I think it would be a very, very hard sell, you know, just because of the price range. Another one from 2017 that I think was a hot watch for a minute, but now it's available. It's available at a lot of places, and I found it for a little bit under retail, not much under retail, but it was hot for a minute, and it's cooling down very quick. The release of the Longines Heritage 1945. We all know that Ben Clymer wore one, and they made that one because he was wearing it, I think, at a Longines Expo, and they asked him for his watch just to remake it. The story is something like that, and the watch did catch a little bit of fame, but quickly wore out with people wanting more and more and more Rolex. So all these other brands are just staying, you know, quiet in the water, and nobody's looking for them really. But this watch, I know it was famous for a minute, and that was one of the 2017's hot releases. 2018. That's too recent. Everybody remembers 2018. And what can I say about 2018? The watch that came out with a bang that I don't understand. The stainless steel Rolex Pepsi. I frankly don't understand why people are paying almost the same price as the solid gold one. It blows my mind. But then again, you like what you like and you want what you want. And if that makes sense to you to pay for stainless steel, 20 grand, 18 grand, whatever you're paying, so close to the 18 karat gold, solid gold one, you know, it blows my mind. Blows my mind, but collector community or aficionado communities, they work in strange patterns. So that's a watch that, you know, just stopped the watch world, and everybody wants it, and everybody's paying, you know, double plus retail. You know, so we won't even mention that one. But Tudor Pepsi, the Tudor GMT with the Pepsi bezel, nice watch. You know, it's what can I say about the? I've seen it. I tried it on, and I like it, but I don't love it. If I would go to Tudor, I don't know if that's the model I would pick. And that's another thing. Everybody thinks that Tudor is Rolex. Tudor is far away from Rolex. And I tell people, they get upset with me. They tell me that it's the same almost. But, you know, almost $1 million and almost $100 is not the same. I almost hit the Mega Millions, but I was missing 5 numbers in the Powerball. So, I mean, almost doesn't count. It's not the same. Tudor is not a Rolex. And you might want it to be, because that's what a lot of people can afford. But it's just something. It's just something Rolex made to bring people into the community. And maybe if you like the Tudor, if you like the feel of the Tudor, you'll come in and buy the Rolex and wait half of your lifetime for it and play their games. Had one from 2018, the Seiko. What is it? SIAO25. Beautiful watch, but for what that watch was trading for, it was just something outrageous. And they sold out pretty quick, because I think it was a very limited edition, and it sold out really quick. But out of all of the watches that were released in 2018, I shouldn't say it, but I think that's one of the ones that I would aspire to buy. And that's one of the ones that I like a little bit more than anyone, you know, because it was a true limited edition. But, you know, Seiko, they make something limited edition. 3 years down the road, they'll reissue it just with something minuscule or very different, and then they'll sell it in mass quantities. You know, it's like their Presage, when their Presage that they made for the Japan market only, and they saw how popular it was in the United States, and of course they took advantage of it. They made a Presage for the United States. One that I liked a lot from 2018, and I don't know how big it got, but it didn't get that big. It was the Oris, the pointers. It was I think it was a collection of 3 watches, 3 different watches. I'm going to put a picture right here. And these watches are nice. They're vintage looking, but with all the standards of the new watch. And that's something I had to learn to like, because I gave a lot of crap to vintage looking, to faux patina. But then again, I started to appreciate it a little bit more. You know, you can get the vintage look with the mechanics of a new watch. So it's something that I learned to like a little bit, you know, and I'm accepting it a little bit more as the time goes by. But if I could still get my hands on full vintage, that's what I do. But these Oris pointers, very nice watches, dive watches, date, simple watches, but just a very dressy watch that goes along with a lot of occasions. So it's one of the watches that I liked a lot. So guys, I want to make this video and remind you guys, through the past 3 years of hot releases, and just to say, where are they now? What happened to these watches? Do they still exist? Does anybody want them? Do you want one of these watches? And would you spend the money on one of these watches right now? Or you would buy, like everybody else, a Rolex? What would you do? You know, are these watches still something that you aspire to? Are they something that they were hot in its moment, and now they're like, you know, it is what it is? Tell me what you guys think. You know, leave your comments down here. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you.